And apparently we don't have the meeting minutes. We don't have the meeting minutes yet. Deborah's going to ask Josh to get them to us. So our next meeting, we'll have to approve two of them, two sets of them. Alrighty. So public comment, Mike, go ahead.
You want me to comment?
Yes, now is time for public comment.
Okay, are there any, well, I was led to believe you had certain questions about the grant Friends of Music Alley filed. So I can comment on the.
Okay, now I have a question for you. Your budget is up a lot from last year.
Significantly, yes.
And each year we've given you more and more money.
Yes.
So we've got $70,000 of grant requests and 50 grantees. So I don't know if we'll be able to fully fund you.
Well, I mean, sure. I mean, that's I guess that's for the board to decide.
Do you have other sources of income if we do not fully fund you?
We have limited sources of income right now. You know, we rely on donations from the public. We rely on donations from, you know, the Bridgewater State University, other grants if we get them. We haven't been too successful with that, but we rely heavily, you know, we have relied heavily on this grant and donations from the university. And we're just a small organization, so we pass a bucket at our performances, and we rely on donations. But the beauty of it is it adds to the cultural vibrancy in Bridgewater. It's free live music for everyone, for the whole town, not just the town of Bridgewater, but surrounding towns too. And we've made a lot of progress since the organization's inception 8 years ago. So, you know, the Cultural Council grant is very meaningful to us, especially where we are in the town of Bridgewater. I know there are you mentioned a lot of grant applications. I can't speak for other grants, but I know there's a lot of grants that come from towns outside of Bridgewater. And, you know, I would hope that you would consider us for the full grant, but if you can't, I understand. I mean, you can only.
So tell me why you're not using the old Music Alley.
That needs clarification. Music Alley and Friends of Music Alley are two separate things altogether. When the what's considered the space Music Alley was created, that was something the town created for the town of Bridgewater. They called it Music Alley. The intention at the beginning was to host musical performances there. So we formed a board called Friends of Music Alley, meaning just like the Friends of the Library, just like the Friends of any organization, that we would, when we decide, host performances in Music Alley. But Music Alley itself it has nothing to do with, we are just the Friends of Music Alley.
There's no restrictions for you guys to continue to go to Black Hat.
Yeah, no restrictions at all. Black Hat this year kind of happened by accident because the town was doing all sorts of repairs in that. Let's take Music Alley off of it. It's just an alley in Bridgewater that we can host performances, but they were doing so much work there that we couldn't have anything there this year.
Right. No, so we understand why you guys moved, but you are committed to staying at Black Hat now.
We're not committed to anything. We would like to stay at Black Hat next year just because it's a more open space. It's a better
plenty
location
of parking
for patrons. Yeah, it's just a good spot, you know.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So were you aware that we also got a grant request from Black Hat Brewery?
Yeah, and I learned about this recently, and at the risk of, I can't speak for Black Hat, and I don't want to hurt his chances at receiving grant money. That's a much different organization. It's a for-profit business.
Right. So how are your performances and their performances going to be different?
Their performances have nothing to do with Friends of Music. When Friends of Music Alley performs outside of Black Hat Brewery, it's a Friends of Music Alley performance. What he does on his own time has nothing to do with Friends of Music Alley. Our performances are on Thursday nights, and he reserves that space for us to host our performances there on Thursday nights. Black Hat has zero to do with what he puts on for performances has nothing to do with us.
Do you have any idea how he's financed his artists in the past?
No clue. I'm not involved in his business at all. Yeah.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Beth or Nora?
And Tina, incidentally, I'm sorry to interrupt, but if I can also add that if I'm not sure what his grant application looks like, but if Friends of Music Alley or Bridgewater Music Alley or anything related to Music Alley is mentioned in his grant, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't.
I don't believe it is.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, I was a little confused about that too. So when Music Alley is at Black Hat, all the expenses are paid for by Music Alley and not by Black Hat?
Oh, yeah, there are no, the only expenses we have, the expenses.
No,
the-
Beth is asking what Black Hat pays for when you
Nothing.
guys have artists there.
Nothing.
Okay.
Black Hat pays for, there's nothing to pay for. The only thing to pay for is performances, and we pay the performers. So
And they
there's
give you a
nothing-
percentage of the sales, right, of the
They
beer?
give a percentage of the
What
sales,
about the
yes.
vendors, the food trucks?
This year, we haven't received a percentage of any sales from the food trucks.
Oh, should you have?
We have in past years, but not this year. But
Who hires them?
I can't speak to what the contract said this year. We hire them as a board, but there's a
Okay, so
programming
what's your
committee.
plan for next year?
We haven't even gotten there yet. Yeah, we haven't. So
So you could potentially ask for a cut from the food trucks.
it's highly unlikely we would get a cut from the food trucks. That's a benefit for the patrons. Most of the food trucks don't want to share their proceeds with us. And if they do, it's such a small amount of money. Yeah, I mean, Andrew, maybe you can speak to that a little bit too, but it's highly unlikely that'll be part of our budget. It
I'm
wasn't
sorry,
part of
Beth,
the
did you have other
Yeah.
questions for Mike?
No, I think I just, like, I think both budgets said something about like sound engineers. So
Yes.
when Alley is there, it's the Friends of Music Alley that are paying for the sound engineer.
Yes, Music Alley is just a location. Music Alley has nothing to do with us. Friends of Music Alley pays the sound engineer. Friends
So
of
Beth,
Music Alley,
last, or 2023, Jason actually asked for a grant from us and we
Yeah.
paid him. Music Alley did not.
we most certainly did. Friends
Right.
of
Oh,
Music,
we gave him
Friends-
two.
was for one
You paid him on
performance,
top
I
of that?
believe.
Friends of
Hi.
Music Alley paid for the sound engineer all,
Hi.
all season.
Tina, may I interrupt for a
Sure,
moment?
Nora.
It's Nora. How are you? First, Mr. Nicoli, thank you so much for coming in today and meeting with us. Second, a tremendous program that you run
Thank
over
you.
there. I support you on everything you do because I've seen the number of people that come down, the quality of the musical acts that you bring in. I only run one small event in Bridgewater and I greatly envy your performers. I'd like to steal 10 or 12 of them.
Well,
But
I appreciate the kind words. We've
yeah.
worked hard at it, so thank you.
I'm aware, and I know this came from a long time ago, working with the town and all that, and you've worked very hard to grow it. And I believe, just if I can clarify, I know that the sound engineer was in fact paid by, that was for a different project that had nothing to do with you guys. Independently. And I know that sound people are incredibly costly, any of that technical stuff you have to have. I guess what I'm getting from Tina's questions is that she wants to be sure that you as your entity, as the Friends, are, supporting your own environment. You're not working in kind with Black Hat or any other
I wasn't assuming
location.
that at all, Nora.
No, I was just saying that's the impression I'm getting. So
No, yeah.
I just want to, I know that's not true. I know that you are, in fact, you run your own project over there. And then if you couldn't work at Black Hat, let's say they closed down for 3 months for a reason, you would have to find another location that might even require you to pay to be able to utilize their location. So
Without question, and that's a really good point to bring up. Number one, yeah, to address, just to call attention to one point you made, it would be against our mission to be working in collaboration with a for-profit business to share any of it's just not what we do. Black Hat, again, and I think you all know this, that was simply a location where we could hold our performances this year, and Paul graciously opened up his space for us, and it turned out to be a huge win. As far as we've talked about this. If Black Hat closes down, that's possible next year. I don't know what's gonna happen with Black Hat. We
Right.
still have the alley that we can perform in.
Mhm.
We don't, there's been other locations in Bridgewater we've talked about. Who knows if any of them will come to fruition, but right now it's Black Hat, and that's the Black Hat and Music Alley in downtown Bridgewater. Next year, we intend to host performances in both locations if we can. The Music Alley itself is a great spot.
Wonderful.
So, yeah, I mean, I would, if you've never been to a performance and seen what we do, Nora, I know you've been there, please come. You will love it. I mean, we've put a lot of hard work into it. It's impressive.
Truly is. Okay, that's all. The only thing I wanted to clarify. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Nora. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Anything else, Beth?
Oh, thank you. I think it's very clear now.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Did you-
if there's anything more I can help with, just, send me, I don't know if you have my email. Andrew has my email. Any questions, I mean, I'm happy to, whatever you need from me for proof or whatever, I can share whatever you need, but.
Okay, now you pay the sound engineer. That's included in your budget?
Yes, yep,
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
yeah, it's a few, we're probably talking, I can't think of it off the top of my head. It's probably a few $1,000s. I think it's around $3,000. We figure around $250 a night for every Thursday night for a sound engineer. We have a photographer come in, and we pay the photographer to take pictures for to advertise for, part of the deal with the performers to get them to come in is we will also advertise for them and promote their brand and things like that. So we have that expense. And then, those are the big expenses. And then, of course, the performers, that's the largest. And we want to continue, part of the beauty of this too, is that we've been able to help the artists. We want to be able to pay artists that aren't being paid enough money. And we've been able to do that through your generosity, through, donations from the general public, from the university. That's the only way we will survive. So, I think it's
All right, any other questions for Mike? And I assume there's no other public comment out there, so we will move on. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike.
Nice to meet you all. Bye, Andrew.
So old business, the final reports from grantees last year. We are still missing the Talking Information Center. They've also applied for a new grant this year. Howie Newman, I sent you guys notification that he canceled again. Apparently he's got some health issues. So I spoke with the senior center about us not accepting his grant for next year and him applying that money towards that. Never heard back from the African dancer. I think I CC'd you guys on the email I sent to her.
Yes.
She never responded.
Did not request money this year. Right?
Beth, go ahead.
She did not request money this year, though.
No,
right?
she shouldn't.
No.
Hopefully she'll do something with Juneteenth or Black History Month, but the library hasn't heard from her. No one has heard from her, including us. And I have no idea if we have any recourse, to actually go and get the grant back from her. But anyway, I also never got any follow-up from the Special Needs Advocacy Network called Outcomes. They did not apply for another grant for this year. And then Jason, who we did pay $2,000 for sound equipment, never sent me any kind of a follow-up. So I have no idea. I thought we were paying for him to do sound at Music Alley. So I have no idea where he was spending that $2,000. But he didn't apply again, so. And I also never heard from Shirley Wood, the art teacher. But she didn't apply again. But all of the other grant requests did send follow-up letters. So I know that Andy had mentioned something about getting away from doing the direct grants. And it's interesting, I talked with the senior center today. They had no idea that the artists get paid well in advance. Like they didn't know that Howie already got his money, but has not yet performed.
Yeah.
I believe the Mass Cultural Council prefers the direct grant model. And I know as much as you'd like to do, Andy, after the fact, you know how many times you ran over to the tax center to get stuff signed? It would be
15,
much worse. if
15,
we
I
did
know, I know.
reimbursement. So, I mean, 2 out of what we grant 18,
Yeah,
2 out of 18 is not terrible. And Howie Newman, I know, will make good unless his health conditions continue worse. And we've just learned you don't give people money unless they have a confirmed date and venue.
Right.
Do you guys have any other questions about final reports?
did everybody see the treasurer's report?
Did you,
I-
you mean that's on Smart Simple?
Yes,
I did, but I didn't write down how much we can afford to grant.
we have $21,000.
Wait
I
a
would
minute, what happened to the, Andy, we had leftovers from last year.
That's right. But
So
we
where
had-
did it go? We got 22,000 from the state.
That's right. Well, if you let me finish, I'll
Go
let
ahead.
you know what's going on. She, the woman from the cultural council.
Pinoco.
Pinoco said we can hold up to 5% for administrative purposes, and we need to vote on holding that 5. And if we don't want to hold it, she can change the report. So my suggestion, or her suggestion, was vote on the 5%, which is $1,100. We took $1,100 off the amount for administrative reasons. If we need to use that money, for instance, Tina, when you went and got the signs and all that other stuff.
Mhm.
All right, we can have that money and have 21,000 in our coffers for the grants, or vote against it and we're back to 22.
So Andy, how much is in the administrative fund right now
Hold on a second. Let me go to the page.
without the 5%?
Let me go to the page. Hold on. It's all on the
I
smart.
know, I would have to say goodbye to you guys to go to the
I'm gonna, yeah,
report.
I just changed it over. Hold on.
What is it under? Is it under financial report?
Yes, yeah. It's all listed on the financial report. I just didn't want to leave the page. Hold on.
I've got that up on my phone.
Yeah, I mean, I could pull it up on my phone too. I should have printed that out, but I didn't.
Hold on, Tina.
I know we had at least 1,000 in administrative funds, even after I bought the posters.
Yes, that's right. Hang on a second.
So unless we have a program planned, I don't know that we need to keep any more than what's already in there.
Okay, the account balance at the end of June 30th was 1378.14. Okay, and then we had municipal charges. Laurie finished off everything for me, and I went and met with her and took the information that we needed. Then we go back down. If you look down on the pages, we had $208.75 in expenditures since the 30th. Tina, I believe that was for the
Yep.
things that you purchased.
Yep.
Then we had local funds kept in assets reserve 1,000. That brought it down to 1,087. And then I held back 1,002 to make it an even $22,000. So the calculated total's 21,000. That's the
All right, so
report.
do I have a motion to retain the 5%?
It was up to $1,100 we could keep, but I did a little over 1,000 so that we could make a round number of 21,000.
Okay, do I have a motion to retain the 1,000 and change that Andy had put on the,
Second,
all in favor?
I
I am not in favor.
okay, well then we'll just send the money back then.
Nor, did you vote?
Uh,
My phone, like.
I would say aye on that. Yes,
You would like to retain the money?
absolutely.
keep more than $2,000 in an administrative fund and not grant people that extra 1,011.
Well, we can keep 5,000. I'm sorry, excuse me, 5%.
5%.
5%,
Right, but
exactly.
Nora, we already have money in that administrative account from last year.
So what's?
We can keep 5%.
It's
But
5%,
we already
or it's
have,
5% a year we can keep.
right.
Right.
But if we have no intention, no plan for it, do we want to release it to be able to give some of this money to the grant requests? We have $70,000 worth of grant requests.
Right.
We're going to disappoint many people.
Yes.
Can I ask a question? I'm looking at this on my phone. It says, I'm looking at something that says box G administrative funds, and it says 1,087.
That's what we started with.
And then under that, it says box H FY24 allocation 1,002.
That is what Andy set aside to add to the admin funds.
So was the 1,087 was already in the ad?
Correct.
Yes, that's right.
But we're talking about adding another 1,000 to that.
Right.
The reason I held it back was Hanako said you can hold back up to 5%. I would suggest you do that and then vote on whether you need it or not. And I was thinking if we wanted to get a nice tent, some chairs, whatever we wanted for ourselves, more signage, we'd have plenty of money for that stuff. If we push it back, then we're not going to have it. So if we come to a conclusion by the end of the year that we need that extra 1,000, then by all means, we'll just take the 1,000 and use it towards grants. Doesn't matter.
Well, no, we have to make decisions on grants in the next couple of months.
That's
We
right.
can't wait till December. The grant request decisions are being made in the next couple of weeks. The question is, do we want to keep that money for ourselves to do a program or something else? Or do we want to release it so that we can give it to the grant requests now?
I'm for saving it. Tina, you're against?
Correct.
And the other two?
I'm really not sure. So you don't think that 1,000 is enough to save, or 1,087 is enough to save? I'm just trying to get some clarification. You think we should have over 2,000 saved?
We have up to $1,100 a year to take from that. And I only took 1,002, so it would be an even number that we had to grant with. That's all. And we need to vote on this, whether we're going to keep it or we're going to roll it back so we can have.
You know what, Andy,
20,000.
let's table that to the end of this
Okay,
after we go through all the grants.
okay.
Okay, Nora?
Fine with me.
We'll come back to it. Okay. All righty. Put on your seatbelts. We're gonna start going through the grants.
Here we go.
So Beth, you're new to this. So did you get a chance to look at them?
I certainly did.
Okay, great. So what happened last year, now Nora wasn't part of our group yet. It was just Svet, Andy and I. We just went through boom, 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 said yes, no, hold, whatever. So that's what I'm hoping we can do tonight.
Yeah.
Can I ask a couple of questions?
Sure, Beth, your volume is terrible.
Yeah, I can barely hear you, Beth.
Sorry, if I move closer or speak louder, is that better?
Oh, there you go.
Yes, you look scary, but that's okay.
So, I mean, so is it better to give people what they're requesting and give fewer grants? Or is it better to give more grants and reduce the amounts of some of them?
So if we have a grant that we think might have some merit, we can look deeper into it. If you notice on the grant requests, there is a comment. If you are not fully granted, will your program still, what will happen? And some of them will say, well, instead of doing 12 programs, I'll only do 6 or something like that. So most of them are not expecting 100%. But we don't even have to grant some of these things. Some of these things are ridiculous.
Some of these things aren't, the way I look at it, Beth and Nora, is do they really benefit the town?
Correct.
I mean,
And
there
that's
are
what we're
grants
doing
out
tonight.
here.
We're going to make clear cut no's We can do some partials that we will determine after we send out the denials. But as soon as we make decisions on the denials, that gets put on our website. Those people get an email saying that they've been denied. They get 2 weeks to appeal to the Mass Cultural Council. Hanoko and the group will look to see if our reason for denying them was legit or not. If they reevaluate and say, no, these people deserve something, then they'll send it back to us. So our goal tonight is to eliminate anything that we're not going to give money to and get those denials sent out.
My other question is, Tina, you had said in the group text, or to some, I don't know if it was group text, or I think you indicated that you had contacted the library and not all the, like there was some programs that said they were going to be at the library and they haven't booked it.
Right. The venue, the library knew nothing about them.
So how do we know that? Only because you contacted the library?
They did not they said they were going to be at the library or the senior center.
Yep.
They did not have a secure venue.
Oh, so you checked on the ones that didn't say they had a secure venue.
Correct.
Can I
And if
add
they
some-
didn't include a letter of support. So if they didn't have a letter of support, I mean, when we get to this one particular grant, I'll tell you an interesting story. Anyway, all right. So the number one is a for-profit, well, not profit, but they do charge for the shows. And it's in Taunton.
And they charge the students.
Yes,
The students pay an average of $130 a month, I think it said.
Correct. All right. So do I have a motion to deny number one grant?
motion,
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
Nora?
I,
you still
that's
there?
on my hold list right now,
It's on your what list?
my hold list, but that's all right.
So-
Okay. What, can you tell me what you're thinking about?
I just haven't decided yet.
Do you guys want to leave it on hold or 3-1?
I think we should do it by vote, and nothing against Nora, but you know what? We've got a lot of these things to go through.
Yep, absolutely.
If it
Okay.
doesn't benefit the town and people have to pay to go there, why even fund it?
Yeah, it doesn't go along with our original guidelines, so.
No,
I mean, you could just, if you wanted, you can just check me off on that. If it's not in Bridgewater, it isn't completely free. And I don't care if we've supported them in the past or not. But if they come back year and year and there is no other fund of sourcing, then you can just check me off as yay for all of those people. If they're out of the town, they have to pay to go there. And we don't have remarkable letters of recommendation from those facilities where they're being held, then that doesn't, do it for me either. So along those lines, but go ahead.
Okay,
Next.
so number one is a no.
Yep.
Okay, number two. Now, this is a new community center that is being developed at the old Methodist church, the Stone Church across from the college.
it's behind the Boyden Hall. It's a,
Right, right.
it's the old, I think it's Jewish. It's a synagogue at one time. It's
I
not a
believe the-
stone church.
No, I know it's not the Stone Church in Raymond. Anyway, so did anybody look at that grant?
I did. They're
And what
charging,
did you think?
charging a fee of $10 at the door.
Yeah, it said $5 in advance, $10 at the door. I think it said they would hope to make it free. I mean, it's in Bridgewater and it also, I like that inclusivity because it's for adults with disabilities and differing abilities.
All right, so do you think that if we decide to grant them, I mean, MCC has asked us not to grant less than $250. Like the minimum grant is $250. So would you guys be willing to at least give them that amount? So we will hold them and come back and include them in a potential grant later, or do you want to
Yes.
immediately?
Let's do that. Let's put them on hold and we'll come back to them
Nora?
That's fine.
because we need to get through these.
Right.
Correct. Okay. Black Hat, what do you guys think about that one?
I have a conflict of interest. I'm gonna sit out on this one. It's a for-profit company.
Yeah, so I have an issue with that too. It's a for-profit company. Also, when Mike was talking to us, I was looking at Black Hat's request, and Mike said it was like $250 for a sound engineer. And Black Hat put in there $1,000 per sound engineer per event, which I was, it's just like such a drastic difference.
I think their budget request is ridiculously high. They've also, I reached out to them when I saw they were doing this, and I said, because you are located where you are, you need to contact the other towns and not just expect Bridgewater to support you. So I think they included Raynham, East Bridgewater, and West Bridgewater into their grant request. But if they ask for 10,000 from each of us, that's $40,000.
And that's almost half of our,
Oh, I know. I don't think we should grant them at all, but do we want to give them like a bone, $250 to say, hey, we're supporting you, but not really? Nora, what do you think?
Well, I know $1,000 per event is probably in line with their expenses are if they have to rent equipment and whatnot. So I don't know.
Why
what
wouldn't they just hire Jason, who's
He
250?
might not be available for all those, and some artists may not want that as, so in order to get a higher quality artist, you might have to make other arrangements. I don't know. I didn't see that it was very specific about which performances, so.
Can I interject something right now?
Yep.
If we open a door, any type of doors in relating to business like this, we're gonna have all sorts of restaurants wanting to do this.
You don't want to pay for Greyhound Taverns music?
Or the 99.
Yeah.
Or every other place that's
Yeah.
for profit.
Okay, so do I have a motion to deny entirely this grant?
I'll make a motion for that.
Do I have a second?
I'll
Gonna have to be you,
second it.
Nora. Okay,
I'll second it.
all in favor of denying this request in its entirety?
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. All right. Now, number 4 is a duplication. So just cross it off, it's a denial, because he applied for it with, I think he must have applied in Franklin too, but he sent it to the wrong one. So just 4 is a no.
Okay.
5 is the request for Bridgewater. Last year, we gave them $600. It's a large, I don't know, Beth, were you down July 4th? Before the
No.
rain hit?
No, I was away.
Okay. So they were right in front of the town hall with a tent. It sounded great. They played before the parade and all of that. And it's more than one artist. It's a whole orchestra.
Right.
So any motions on whether to, let's talk about money our next time we get together. So this is just
Okay.
whether we're going to give them money or not.
Let's give, well, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I'd like to see them to get something. So we can
Yes.
come around again for them.
Okay, so we
not the
will put them as,
Franklin.
we will put them as a yes, but no dollar amount.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay, the next one is Winter Lights, which they put up the white lights through the common, and I believe they're leaving them up for 3 months.
Yep, said November to February.
So they have to hire a company to install those lights, rent the lights, all of that sort of thing.
Right.
They own the
Anybody?
lights.
What's that, Andy?
They Merrily bought the lights last year. They hire a company to put them up and take them down.
Okay,
That's what the funding is. That's what they want. They own the lights, and the company that does it holds them for them.
okay. Any comments, discussion? This is the first time she's requested anything from us. She needs to get a lot more money than just this amount.
I'm gonna have to step off this one as well because I am performing for that group to raise money for them. They asked me to do that, and with that, I can't vote. So
Okay. Nora, any comments?
I'm in favor of it. I don't know why the town doesn't pay for it, but regardless of that, because that's not the issue at hand. Yeah, I'd be fully in forward of however much we would be able to.
Okay, all right, we
support
won't
them.
decide on amounts.
Yep,
Just gonna say
yep.
that we will fund them.
Yeah.
Okay, next we're on to the Bridgewater Pride Talent Show. My issue with this is it's a lot of money for 2 hours.
And it's a closed talent show. It's not open to anyone else in the town who wants to perform. I read the letter. If there's a letter attached that was sent by the church, I hope everybody saw that letter and read it.
I did not.
It's at the end.
So,
Nora, do you know anything about this talent show? Have you?
Oh, no, I don't know anything about it other than I read in the grant and I'm a no on it, but
it's Transgender Day of Visibility Talent Show.
Beth, what does it say they would, I don't have it in front of me. What did they say they would do if they don't get their full funding?
So is that under budget?
Yes,
It says the project will need to rely on in-kind donations of time from the artist. The event will be promoted through word of mouth and on social media platforms. The number of featured educators and artists would have to be reduced.
okay, so they'll still go on. It just won't be what they envision as the grant was created. Is that your impression?
That's what it sounds like. It says, so stipend for the 4 artists and or educators is a lot of what's in the budget. And, yeah, that was most of it, was this, the stipend for the artists and educators. That was 1,000 of the 1,250. So it sounds like they might have to have fewer. Under other sources of projected income, it says nothing. It says this project has been hosted twice before through in-kind donations of space and donations of time from local artists, performers, and community. Bridgewater Pride and community. Bridgewater Pride values our community and would really like to provide compensation for the artists that are sharing their talents with us.
All right,
that's
so
what-
Nora, you've already said you do not want to fund them.
yeah. Yes.
Beth, what do you think?
um,
Do they charge admission?
no,
Is the talent show open to the public?
that's what I don't, I don't see. See that. Target audience is any member of the community looking to celebrate, learn, and support members of our transgender community. This event is for all ages, so it is open to anybody.
Okay, Andy, do you have any comments?
No, I have no comment on this. I'm gonna say no as well.
And
I mean, it is in Bridgewater.
It's
what
a
It is
church.
Bridgewater artists.
It's being sponsored by a church. I don't know if that makes a
That's
difference.
okay. If you look at other towns, they do things, but I don't think it's religious as such.
We can
Is
always,
this the-
we can
the
put a
unit
check
church?
next to it and come back if that's the case.
All right, so we'll put it on hold.
Put it on hold, yep.
Okay,
That's number 7.
that's number 7.
Okay,
The thing I need to try and remember, Nora, maybe you can help me remember. If we don't deny them,
Mhm.
can we deny them later?
or we just give them less money, I think, isn't it?
Right,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm trying to ask Nora.
Yeah,
If we don't deny them,
No, you can't. You have to deny them on the first round and then they
Okay.
can appeal and all that process. So, yeah.
okay,
you
so
have to-
maybe if you guys don't mind, we'll go through and get rid of the denials and then go back through the holds.
Yeah.
before we make the final decisions. Okay, number 8. So this is a program that the public library requested. It is going to be 20 programs. If we did not fully support them, she would just have fewer programs. So I think we should definitely fund it, maybe not fully. Any comments?
I think you're on the right track, Tina. She already has them booked that she's paying them. So let's continue it and we can go back to how much we're gonna give them because it's for the benefit of the town.
Okay,
I agree.
Nora?
Yes, I agree.
Okay. The Brockton Symphony Orchestra. That's a hard no for me.
No,
It's only in Brockton, they charge.
wrong.
Or some of their concerts at the library are free, but the symphonic concerts, they do charge, yeah. And it looks like they applied to like 50 different towns.
So all in favor of no?
No,
No, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
On to number 10. So Karen Chance had a letter of support from the senior center.
Yep.
Mhm.
So yes,
I think that's a check. Yep.
Even though she doesn't have a date or,
she does.
oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, there's a letter
It's in the letter of support.
on the
Oh.
on the end.
Okay. All right, so yeah,
Okay. Number 11 is a concert in Brockton that charges. It's
again,
in,
free, some of them
Hold
are,
on.
one of them is not. They have a bunch of art and music.
That's at the Brockton Church. Is that correct?
yes.
Yes. I would say deny on that one.
All in favor of no?
Aye.
Nora?
Yes, I.
Yes, no?
Yes.
Voting-
no.
Yes or no?
Okay.
Can we hold it and come back to it?
The
Well,
Brockton concert?
the Brockton.
Nora, you're the one that wants it to be in Bridgewater.
Absolutely.
So why are you saying maybe?
Because some of these things you might be able to see if they would move to Bridgewater with a phone call or an email. And I
Well,
think we
And
haven't
still
done
charge
anything like
15
that.
to $20 a ticket?
No, they're still charging Nora too.
Yeah. Oh, okay. If it's a for-profit entity, then no.
Well,
course
it's a
not,
church concert, but I mean, they're charging probably for the hall or whatever it is they're charging for, but we've got so many others that we can.
I mean, people from Bridgewater can go to the concert, whether we
Yes.
fund it or not.
Right.
they still have to pay. It's like the Philharmonic.
Everyone has to
Right.
pay, whether your town's paying for a grant or not.
Correct.
All right, so again, number 11 is a no.
No. Number
Nora, you
12,
okay with no?
no.
Nora?
All right, I'm gonna say hold, but.
Well, 3 to
and we
1.
can see
3 to
it-
1.
Yeah, okay.
All right, Rachel Daly. She applies every year. She's in Foxborough and Norton.
This is benefiting Foxborough and Norton. I don't think,
Exactly. So all in favor of
this.
no?
no.
No,
Really, so, I mean, it sounds like kids from any town can go to this. It's music education is what it is.
Right,
Um,
but she's not doing it in Bridgewater.
Right, so okay. I mean, it's like a big, almost like a camp, a big camp, it sounds like. And
Does she
they-
charge for it?
Yes. Oh, did she, well, so there's a free concert at the end, but the students have to pay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm okay with denying it.
So 12 is a no. All right. 13. This is a new one. Fire Effect, they want to do outdoor movies over by the town landing, which is behind where the cable company is.
Yeah, they're doing all sorts of work over there. They're gonna have they want to do a Monday night. I read it, a Monday night movie night for the townspeople.
Right. They
That's
have
gonna be great.
farmers markets there and
Yep.
they're trying to really do up that space. Does anybody know if the West Bridgewater movies are attended well? Because I know they do outdoor movies.
I don't. I
I
don't know
don't
anything
know.
about it.
I mean, when I saw this grant, I contacted Hanoco to find out, are we allowed to grant money for equipment? Because that's all it is. We're buying the screen and the projector. Nothing about site licenses to use, to pay the rental of the movies.
Right.
That's the
Just-
other thing. I was involved with running the movies at the Marshfield Fairgrounds during COVID. We set up a drive-in, and we had to pay a lot of money for those to rent those movies.
Right. There was nothing in the grant. It's just buying the equipment.
Yeah. I don't see why not. I mean, we don't have to give them the 1,500. We just have to
But
come
if
back.
we don't give them all of that, they probably can't do anything.
Well, I don't know about that because the town is involved down there too. Mike, the town manager's been down there several times to go over what's going on. They're trying to revitalize this thing. And in the same thought, they're in the process of changing the parking lot from Bridgewater University over to behind Burger King for the T station. They want to
Right.
move the T station. So, I mean, this is something
That'll
the
make
town got
parking
into.
worse if they move the train station down there. And that's probably not going to happen in our lifetimes. Moving that train station.
Yeah, well, they don't have to do much. I mean, they just have to put
Right.
platforms up.
Yeah. I mean, do you guys want to reach out to the people who requested this to find out what their plan is to actually have movies?
I can reach out to him if you want. I don't know him personally.
Okay, so are we thinking we will grant them some?
Yes, I
So we'll
think we
put them on a
should.
hold.
Let's put them
Nora,
on.
you okay with that?
If the grant is only for the purchasing of, what I call hardware, screens, projectors, then I would be a no on that because we don't get that equipment. Unless they were thinking of doing something more along those lines. But if they're gonna have the equipment and own the equipment, and then for future reference, they do what they want, then I don't see how our investment would be worth it.
So should we come back to them?
Well, no, tonight
let's
we
do
can
this.
go through the
Let's
holds and
vote
decide.
yay or nay on it so we can move on.
Right,
I'm
right.
for it. Nora, you're against it.
No, yeah, I'm a no.
Okay, who's a no and who's a yes or whatever? There's
Or not the whole amount.
So you're willing to give them some?
yeah.
Okay, knowing that it's a direct grant, they may never use it. If we don't
Yeah.
give them the full amount, they may not buy anything.
Yeah, and that's Tina's got a point because we've already had Jason and we've had the dancer get the money and just do what they wanted to do with it. I think I don't.
Jason?
Yeah, isn't that his name?
No, Jason went and did all those shows and stuff.
Right, right.
Yeah, I'm not concerned about Jason. It just would have been nice to have gotten a final report, but no, I'm talking about Howie.
Oh, okay.
If we deny this, our reason would be because it's for equipment.
According to Hinoco, we can finance equipment.
Or we-
But we don't have to give them the total amount is what I'm saying.
And we
But my
don't
fear,
have,
Andy, is if we don't give them the total amount, they can't do anything.
What does
With
it say? What does it
Just
say
the
in the
screen or
proposal?
just the projector and not both.
Yeah, but what does it say in the proposal? Does it say anything in the proposal saying that, if they don't get the fully funding, what happens?
Says we will be holding some fundraising events, including holiday photos, etc.
Yeah.
Okay, so they have some plans.
I
Any
mean,
thoughts?
even if
Still
we
keep
give
it on
them-
hold?
Let's put it on hold. Well, it's up to you guys. Let's vote on this. I'm for it. Nora's against it. Beth is for it. And you, Tina, what?
Lesser amount, but
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to give them the full amount. Let's just,
I kind of like the idea of giving them something because that means we support them, but
yeah.
yeah,
it's-
so let's give them
it's a
something.
Bridgewater thing. It's not somebody from out of town that, so.
All right, I can't wait to discuss this next one.
Oh,
Yarn bombing.
no,
She's from Wellesley. And she wants how much money? To go
That's
and put a
crazy.
bunch of yarn on a bicycle.
Yarning around, no physical location in town. It's all gonna be done on Zoom. But she's
Oh,
trying
no,
to
no,
do.
no. She's gonna do
but-
in Bridgewater. She's gonna yarn bomb something in Bridgewater.
Well, if you read, it says she's gonna have it on Zoom.
You're looking at a different grant.
Oh,
We're on number 14.
Yeah, she said she's gonna yarn bomb a specific location that has not been determined. It's gonna happen sometime in 2024. And it,
Again, that's like grant money flying out the window.
no, I say no to that.
I agree.
Okay, Nora?
I agree.
Okay, yay!
We're moving
okay.
right along, ladies. This is excellent.
Number 15.
Hold on.
So this gal put that she wanted to perform at the Bridgewater Library. So I reached out to Ann Gerald and she contacted this artist and she's really excited about the potential that this has for writing a book, doing the illustrations. So Ann Gerald would like us to support this. And she spoke to the artist and the artist was willing to take 400 instead of 500. She can still do the program.
Like this one. I mean, it's all about nonverbal communication and yeah.
Right.
It's not in the story.
So all in favor of granting this one?
Is that 15?
Number 15, yes.
Yeah.
She requested 500. She's willing to take 4.
And she's got books to give out too?
I believe, yes. Ann Gerald, who's the assistant library director, is very excited about this one.
Well,
She
yeah,
thinks
if
it's,
doing 4, I don't see why there wouldn't be a problem.
Nora?
That's a definite yes. Yeah.
Okay, on to 16, Music Alley. Bye, Andy. Andy?
He went
I can't
bye-bye.
say anything.
He can't, he's silent. He can't speak.
All right, so you're not going to get mad at us for discussing this, are you?
No, go ahead. You know,
Okay. Go ahead, Beth.
I mean, I say definitely a yes, but it's such a huge portion of our budget. To get
It's a
them.
third of our budget.
So I hope it would be okay if we give them less. But I mean, definitely a yes.
Okay,
Okay, I'm wondering if we could just go through the list with a yes or a no. And then worry about the amounts later.
That's what we're supposed to be doing.
that's
Yeah,
what we're
'cause
supposed to be
it's-
doing now.
There's too much, it's like just a yes or no based on, is the grant acceptable? Is the grant what we want to see in the town? And if it's not. we
Right, but
can
Nora,
just,
if people want to give us, don't want to give very much, it may not be worth granting them anything.
Well, we're not
So
gonna
that's why-
grant them, we're not gonna grant them anything yet. What we're gonna do is go through, I thought we were
Right,
going
but
through the
once
list.
we've gone through our denial list, we can't go and deny them afterward.
Yeah, but we haven't created a denial list yet. So we're
Correct.
just talking about it. We're
Correct.
creating the list. And then we
Okay.
can go back and switch and move things around if we want
We
to.
have started creating the denial list. Those are the ones
Yeah.
we X'd out.
Right.
Right.
But,
All right,
you
we're on
know,
to
we might-
17.
Yeah, on to 17.
So 17 and 18 are both Fuller Craft Museum. We did not fund them last year.
And may I add that Fuller Craft Museum wouldn't send any free passes for the library for people to sign out to go over there
Mhm.
for the goose egg.
Yep.
So I don't think it's applicable to even consider them.
I agree.
Okay, all
I'm
in
a no.
favor of denying?
Aye.
Right.
Okay, so no to 17. How about 18?
Same
One's
thing,
adults, one's kids.
Yep,
the
same.
same thing.
No, okay. Francis Hart did not give us a venue and has not contacted the senior center.
So denied.
Yep.
Okay,
I mean, I know that they said ideally the library would.
right. I talked with Ann, who's the assistant COA director today, and she's like, he has not contacted us. I'm like, we're not giving money then. Okay.
I can't wait for number 20. I can't wait for this one.
I love the idea of 20, but he again has no venue, no dates.
I think it's a sheet, that one.
He does have a venue, Tina. It's
A university. He
Bridgewater
hasn't
University,
secured Anything.
Doesn't really say that. It says.
but it doesn't say that. Yeah, exactly. It sounds to me like an international food fair.
Yeah, and it's got something about on behalf of a restaurant in Everett.
Yes, it's a for-profit
Okay,
restaurant.
all in favor of no?
No,
No,
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Oh, this next one, I know, Andy, where you're gonna stand on this one. So this would be us helping fund their field trip to Six Flags to perform at Six Flags.
well, first of all, we discussed last year, just to fill it, especially Nora in, we discussed that they need to apply to both Bridgewater and Rainham if they're part of the school system.
The middle school is not part of Rainham.
Okay, but
There's another grant later that we can request or we
Okay,
can
that's
deny
what it
because
is.
it's
Okay.
just a Rainham school. So this is appropriate. It's Bridgewater.
Yeah.
It's Bridgewater kids. It is music. But it's a lot of money.
yeah,
Well,
it's,
when my kids did this, I mean, my daughters were both in music, and I don't think there was any grant money, and the families had to pay.
it was the
And
boosters. Yep.
Probably did fun. We probably did fundraising. Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but I mean, I think the amount that we could give them would hardly make a dent in.
I know. I was thinking if we only gave them like $250, it would be a drop in the bucket. That
Right.
wouldn't even pay for the gas for the bus.
Tina, didn't we give last year enough money for one group for their buses to go
No.
to Boston?
Mm-mm.
I
We did
thought
not give them enough to do that. The artist had to come to them.
Okay, the print, yeah, okay.
Yeah, we gave them less than they requested.
Part of what the fee is for them to go on all the rides. You know, I mean, I know buses are expensive and it's going all the way out to Six Flags, but yeah, I think that. But like I said, I don't think we could give them enough to make a difference. I wouldn't want to give them a huge amount.
I mean, we could always come back to that one because I'm kind of partial on that too. They're Bridgewater kids. I wouldn't mind helping them out, but we don't have to give them the full amount.
Nora, what are you thinking?
I'd say just put them on hold and we'll come
Yeah.
back to that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, on to 22 is also a duplicate.
Yeah, so it's exactly the same, right?
Right,
22
so 22 is a no, and 23, the Council on Aging would like them to come.
Yeah, they got a letter from the Council of Aging.
Yep.
Right, so that's a
And-
yes, and it's
and
only
that's-
250.
And
so-
that's for what, 2 shows, 2 75-minute shows or 2?
Yeah.
It's not just one show, it's 2.
Okay, on to 24. This is the one, they are requesting money from Bridgewater for Merrill students who are Rainham only.
Right, so are there any Bridgewater students that go to the Merrill School? There could be, but,
No, the
No, there
pre-K
aren't.
is here in Bridgewater.
okay, all right. So, but
So
even
those
if
would
they
only
were,
be Rainham kids.
yeah, no, not unless they're gonna do it in Bridgewater also.
They didn't say they were gonna do it in Bridgewater. There's no letter of support from Bridgewater.
Requested by the BR STEM coordinator, but still, like, why would you only want it in, like, you're right, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't benefit Bridgewater at all, so we.
It is, Beth, it's a shotgun approach. What they'll do is they'll do as many in the area as possible and try to get one.
No, I think she only applied to Rainham and Bridgewater because she
Oh,
thinks
is that
it's a
it?
regional school district, but we're
Yeah.
smarter than her. We know that our kids aren't gonna benefit.
Right, the elementary schools aren't regional, right?
Well,
I mean, they're in the regional school district, but
right,
the only school that has students from both towns is the high school.
correct. So we should reach out to that person at some point and tell them to try and get one in Bridgewater.
Right, if they were to do it in Bridgewater, we probably would fund it. I mean, it sounds great.
So is that a no?
Beck, wait a minute, Beck, do you want to reach out to them?
Not really.
This is
but-
kind of Beck's thing.
Well, I just don't understand, because it did say somewhere in the application that that this program was requested by the STEM coordinator in the Bridgewater Regional District. So that person should know better. I mean, we can just say the reason we're denying it is because it's not benefiting the students in Bridgewater. And then
Right.
wanna,
Beck, can you just confirm on the budget page, did they apply to Rainham?
I wrote it down on my paper here that they did, but I will, hold on.
Let me take a look now. I'm on the page now. It's number, what is it, 20, 25?
24.
24, hold on a second.
Yeah.
All right. Open.
I mean, I'll give them 250 if they're gonna come to Bridgewater. Nora, what are your thoughts?
I would deny it.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
And it might be a stupid one.
No.
It seems like these are special needs kids.
Mhm.
Do they, is that, since Bridgewater Rainham is just the high school, correct?
Correct.
All right, so kids from Bridgewater that are special needs wouldn't be going to this Merrill school.
Well, that's
Unless
what,
they're fundamentally,
but it says it's 375 students.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
looking
that's-
at that.
Just special needs.
yeah,
And what-
no, that's the entire Merrill
I was trying
K
to look
through.
up what grades are in the Merrill school. I was trying to look that up, and
It's K through 2.
so it's only 3 grades. So I don't know. I mean, it is possible that I did have a question about whether any Bridgewater special needs students attend the Merrill school, but even if it
They
did,
would not.
would not be most of that 375, or even half of that 375, right?
I think that's the entire school.
That would be my guess. I mean, isn't that 375? That like.
They applied to the Rainham Cultural Council.
Yeah,
By the way, so.
Yeah. All right, I feel comfortable denying them, and we'll just have to reach out to this person and say,
Yeah. Okay, denied.
Bridgewater is a different system.
Yep.
And then
Okay.
if we deny them, they do have the opportunity to go in and put an appeal to that.
You're right.
And put it on the basis that, it was a mistake in their grant application, so we could reconsider them, should that come up.
All right, so number 25 is Mass Audubon. And I forgot to ask Ann today at Senior Center if these people reached out to her.
I asked, I talked to Angie Berghaus and.
Yep, that's what I'm talking about. Yep.
Oh, okay, she didn't, knew nothing about it.
All right, so I say no.
They have a firm commitment from Emily Williams.
Emily Williams is in the town hall, isn't she?
No, she's at the Senior Center.
Right? Isn't she
Oh.
What was that, Beth?
like part of the elder affairs, Emily Williams?
Emily is the director, yes.
Director.
And it said in the application that there was a firm commitment from Emily Williams. So,
Mhm.
Is there a letter attached to it?
I don't know. Let me see if I can find that one. That's 25, right?
I sent an email or I made a phone call about whether or not that Mass Audubon had reached out to them, and they never got back to me. And I forgot to ask them about it today when I saw Ian. I mean, $750 is a lot. The number of people who attend programs at the Senior Center is not that many. So I hesitate to give that amount of money.
When I spoke to her, the only ones she knew about was the ones we've already mentioned.
Right.
So,
It said, okay, this says, all right, so there's something that says, based on feedback received from Emily Williams and responses from Bridgewater residents who attended our previous program, we believe our program would be well received and beneficial to the residents of Bridgewater, but I think there's more. Hold on a second.
it doesn't sound like in that letter that they had a firm commitment.
I don't know why I wrote that down.
Do you remember Mass Audubon didn't come and collect their money, Andy, when you and I first?
That's right.
started up. They were given a grant by the previous people and it was reimbursement back then.
Yep.
And they never came to get their money. Which doesn't give me much faith that they're gonna follow through on a program if we give them money now.
Yeah, I'm not finding. Does say it's in collaboration with the Bridgewater Department of Elder Affairs. Oh, no, it says, okay, so on the question about are there any other individuals that will be involved as planners or collaborators, it says, we have secured firm and enthusiastic commitment from Emily Williams, Director, Bridgewater Department of Elder Affairs.
And what does it say if they don't get the full funding?
Program will be scaled back if not funded at the requested amount.
All right, let's put that one on hold and I'll reach out to Emily and find out if they did indeed make a commitment. Sound good?
That's a check, yep.
Okay, you okay with that, Nora?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Next is the weirdest grant ever. Okay, it's not the weirdest. We've got a few weird ones. This is, what does she want a bunch of, we have to
Yeah.
pay for her to get junk?
Yeah,
Make
she's
art with it?
she has no commitment or ideas on how to market this project with the town. She
Yep.
wants to do something at someone's Mike Shea's coffee place. But it's very scattered.
And it's 2188, which is bizarre because Pratt Farm asked for the same exact amount. It's a weird number.
I mean, I like the idea of being of the people in town being able to recycle all those things that are hard to recycle.
But she wants us to buy them.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it looks that way, yeah. Because I think there's whatever. I mean, I feel like, I don't know if you remember, like last spring, there was like a free paper shredding thing at Harbor One Bank for the community. If you could jump on something like that, and even if, I don't know, I feel like.
It sounds to me that, for instance, Nora, you're involved with the business association.
Yes.
You have that event every fall, the fall festival.
Yep.
It sounds like an event that this woman or whoever goes to these events and picks up candy wrappers and then makes a design or something with people.
Right. Right.
And she, she's got no commitment on what she wants to do.
No.
Yeah.
No,
So-
And her budget is 2188,
Yeah, I don't.
and
I
she's
don't
applied
agree
to
with it.
like 6 other towns.
Yeah,
I have a no.
Well,
That's what she would charge per town.
yes.
Probably
No, I
she's
think that's
asking
her
for that
budget
full
for the
amount.
entire project.
I think it's a town by town thing.
It's town by town, yeah.
Town by-
So if you
okay.
put an application in for 20, if you put the same, they just duplicate them over and over. And, it's like, well, there's one specific location. And then trying to get anything with art that is not, you're gonna be very cautious in town. There's the Historical Society and all these other groups that have to approve certain things that need to be shown. So, where would she put it? You're aware that the Bridgewater Cultural Council had a chainsaw sculpture done of the bricklayers from what's the name of that place now? I can't remember.
Styles and Hart?
Yeah, and that it's over in a town building somewhere stuffed in a corner because the Historical Society said they did not feel it would be approved or allowed anywhere near the common or out in front of a building or anything like that.
Why don't
So-
they put it down by the park, the Styles and Hart Park?
Well, at the time, it wasn't even a real park, they
Well,
were
Nora, I
talking
would love
about
for you to look
development.
into that and get that out display.
Absolutely, because it should be, it's something that,
Yeah.
is phenomenally done and would talk about the cultural council, so. I will
All
put
right,
that
so
on
back
my
to
list.
26. Grant 26.
I
I
say
think we-
no.
Deny it.
Everyone's saying no?
Deny.
Yay. Okay,
Okay.
27.
And I-
Again, no venue.
Yep, no,
Just to buy
No,
all kinds of
She
stuff
wants us to buy her tables
Yeah.
and
Table
tents,
tents to display her artwork. And then
Right.
she takes them wherever.
and she wants all but $1
Yeah.
from her total
No.
budget.
yep,
deny,
So, no,
yep, no,
no.
I mean, she is from
she is a
Bridge.
Bridgewater person, but I think she needs more direction.
Yeah,
Again, with the direct grant model, I'm very nervous to just hand people money.
right.
hey, we're halfway there.
We are. Okay,
Okay.
on to Pratt Farm.
I
You guys
don't
ever
see a
go there?
benefit-
I've hiked there once.
Mhm.
I don't see a benefit of giving them money where they're over in, the program's over in Middleborough.
I also don't understand why they're requesting the full amount that's in their budget, but they applied to 3 other councils.
Just like the other grant. It's weird.
Yeah, I
same
think
number.
Middleborough needs to pay them for their,
Right,
Yeah, it's their conservation commission. Why are we doing?
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor of no?
no.
no,
Okay, good. Moving on. Okay, this is the one that was weird. The dance, hip hop chair dance.
It's a private event at a nursing home in
Oh,
Bridgewater.
but wait, this is great, Andy. So she said she wants to do it at the Bridgewater Nursing Home and gave a phone number of the director over there. I
Yeah.
called the nursing home. That person doesn't work there anymore and hasn't for at least a year.
right,
So this grant is bullshit.
right,
Yeah, okay,
That's a
All in
denial.
favor of no?
no,
no,
Okay. And Natural Resources Trust in Easton, the Harvest Fair.
this is a craft fair in Easton, Mass.
They do
Okay.
charge $5 to get in.
They do, and it doesn't benefit us.
Well, a lot of Bridgewater people do go to it.
yeah,
Right, but do we want to give money knowing they charge admission?
No, not in the other town. If,
No.
you know, back to the craft museum, the library asked them if they, you know, or we asked them one, if we could get some free passes for the library to sign out. They said, no, then why would we want to give you money? It doesn't,
right,
there's no benefit to the town of people of Bridgewater. The science
Okay,
museum,
so number 30 is a no?
no,
Beth, is that a no?
That's a no.
no.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
Howard Newman, we're gonna cancel. We're gonna say no to him. He's the one that
No to
did
him.
not fulfill his grant for this year.
okay,
All right, on to Passport to History. We funded it last year for $200.
mhm,
I think we should fund this one.
I think we should too, because it is a free event for
mhm,
anyone who wants to learn about the towns, and Bridgewater's
right,
participating in one of these.
Well, the old Bridgewater Historical Society Museum is part of this, but
Mhm.
it's
Yes.
run by a different organization.
Right.
All right, on to number 33.
So
So
we're
we
gonna check yes to that one?
Yes to Passport to
Yes.
History.
Okay.
Yeah.
And 33 is Plymouth. Plymouth.
no. So as
You
much
gotta-
as, you know.
It's
the
a
tango
Carver,
sells
it's a
good, but
Carver
no.
artist.
Yeah.
She lives in Carver. It's being done in Plymouth. So it does not meet our criteria.
No,
Wrong.
Okay, no?
Yeah.
Beth, yes?
Deny.
Okay.
Deny.
Osanaquim, you guys familiar with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Okay,
that's 2. right?
they've
So
requested 2 different things. A Wampanoag woman for 400 and history at play for 700. And they did say that they would contribute their own funds if we don't fully support those.
And they do dates at the senior center booked.
What was that, Beth?
They have dates booked at the senior center.
Yes.
Yep.
And it's open
can-
to the public, although I don't know if anyone would go to an Osanaquim meeting, but it is open to the public.
right,
Can we say maybe yes to 34 and no to 35? Because it was.
That's a big amount for 35.
mm,
Or we can do
35
250 each.
well, let's not talk about amounts yet, but we
Yeah,
can
let's-
say hold for now and then come back.
Hold
Okay.
both of them, Nora?
Let's hold both of them, we might have to decide which one later or how much or whatever.
But we need to decide like tonight, which one we're.
Tonight.
Oh, yeah, that's fine,
But you know what? Just give them 250 each and then that, they can decide if they want to put it
Yeah,
all
there
in
you
one
go.
pot.
That works.
Okay, the Plymouth Philharmonic in Plymouth.
So we have 250 each, correct, on that one?
Well, we haven't decided on money yet, but
Yeah.
we're gonna go
Okay.
ahead and fund them.
Um, I would say no to Plymouth,
Yep,
Yeah.
no,
because we would be giving them money, and then if you want to go to the show, it's $50, so
Yeah.
a person.
All right,
Not
the next
applicable.
is Big Ryan has applied for his own grant. He charges
We have Big
$200
Ryan-
per session.
Mm.
The library loves him, the kids love him. The question is, do we want to give him the full amount? We gave him that full amount, well, actually, we gave the library that full amount last year, and he did
Yeah.
12 performances.
Let's,
Yep.
everybody likes them. Let's put a check next to them and come back later
Yeah.
on the amount.
For the
we'll
amounts,
talk
okay.
about amounts. Okay.
Rainwater Players, last year we funded them for $12.50. They also apply to Rain.
Mhm.
And
I
they're
think Rain actually
also,
gave them more money last year than we did.
well,
I would be in favor of giving them.
because rainwater comes before Bridgewater. And it's,
Nora, you're in favor of funding the schools musical?
Yeah, partially at least.
I mean, they do
so,
charge admission,
Yeah,
but
they
it's,
do.
I think it's
Yeah.
a community event that we want to support.
Right, right.
Okay,
I'm with Nora on that one. Let's do a
Yeah, we'll
partial.
talk about the money after.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
All
afterwards.
right. So Jasmine Rodriguez wants $5,000
For
to
6
teach workshops.
For 6 hours, she wants $5,000.
No,
Right.
thank
He
you.
has no venue or date.
Yeah,
No?
no, thank you.
No, thanks.
No, thank-
Okay, that's easy.
Thanks.
Jacqueline Rose is another thing happening at that new community center.
Mhm.
This
they're
one is
charging-
weird because Sam
It's te-
Baumgarten is teaching dancing classes.
Yeah.
Classical dance, not classical, like
Tango.
folk dances. He charges at the senior center
Does
and
charge-
he's charging
Yeah.
here.
It's also $10 a person to get in. I don't think it's
Well,
worth
it's
it.
8 if you buy ahead of time.
Yeah.
But I think they may be having musicians as well.
How much do they want?
Community, they want
They want
1,300, their
1,300.
budget is 1,690.
So they said if they don't get the full amount, they will adjust the project.
Well, let's put a check next to it because it is Bridgewater.
Yeah.
And we'll come back to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, oh, this next one, oh boy. Spanish classes, she's charging $300 for 10 weeks. She has to rent the library because it's a profit for
Yeah.
her. And
So, no.
Nora, were you on the committee when there was a Teresa Foley?
Yep. Actually, I resigned right before she took over. Cause I went in and I said, you guys are all set, thank you, and sorry.
Yeah.
So, cause I'd been like on it for like a total of 8-9 years.
Yeah.
Going off, 2 years coming back. So once we got a solid committee, yeah. Yes, I was on there shortly, probably one grant cycle with her just to get everybody trained.
Anyway,
then
I am not a fan of us paying $5,000 for her to get
No,
kids to pay for her to teach them Spanish.
no,
No, they can take it
that's
at
a no.
school.
yeah.
No,
no, no.
Everybody,
no.
a no on that one?
No,
Okay.
this next one's
On-
very interesting.
They've applied before, Andy.
It's an out-of-state applicant
Yeah,
and an out-of-area
yeah,
event.
If you're
that's a
saying-
no.
This is the one that's also virtual.
Yeah, no,
They're
I
doing,
say no.
yeah,
I'm saying no, but that,
I'm saying no as well.
okay.
and
I
we've got a little limited money and we got a lot of Bridgewater-ish events that
Great.
are held in the town that. we
Okay, so
wanna
42
support,
is a
so.
no. 43 is a Worcester and Boston activity. A brass thing, they're charging $55 or $75.
No,
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 there's 2 events, one in Northbridge, Worcester, and
Mhm.
one in, I think it's Boston or something.
Yeah,
South Boston. I would say no to that.
It's $5, I think, for the towns that fund them. No, it said something about $5 versus 55 to 75 for the public. But again, they're charging and it's not in Bridgewater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, on to 44, the Sewell
Mhm.
Homestead in Middleborough.
Mhm.
They do charge admission.
Right.
No,
We funded them forever. I mean, forever, as long as I can remember that.
We
lot.
did not fund them last year. I don't know if they
Yeah.
asked for money, but we
Yeah.
did not fund them last year.
Well, maybe give them another year off. And
Okay.
because we have limited money, so then we could
Beth, you
really
okay?
invest in, But anyways.
Is that okay,
hold or-
Beth? No,
hold or go.
no.
I heard your lips move, but I didn't hear any voice. Beth,
Oh, yeah, that's fine, deny.
okay. All right, on to 45.
Mhm.
Cohasset Art wants us to pay, no.
No,
Nope.
they don't meet the guidelines. Okay.
And then on to the South Shore Children's Chorus. This,
Where in Bridgewater are they performing? Do they have?
they would be teaching. That's
Oh,
the
teaching.
point. It's like a children's chorus, and then they'll have like a big concert at the end. But it sounded to me when I read it that they were going to do it at Bridgewater State, and that the Bridgewater State's giving them reduced rental of the facility, and they're still paying almost $1,600 to rent
Mhm.
Bridgewater State.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's, no.
Nope,
And the tuition's nuts.
nope.
No,
Okay, no.
no.
All right, and then the Taunton High School, and then it says it's also in at St. Thomas.
Sounds like there's a concert in Bridgewater and one in Buzzards Bay.
Is that at 47?
No, two in each.
47, yes.
Yeah, it's a ticketed event in Taunton.
Yeah,
But then in
June
May,
20
it's at St. Thomas in Bridgewater.
Yeah, but they don't say when it's gonna be or it's gonna be ticketed.
Yeah,
or
it
not.
does. On project overview, St. Thomas Church in Bridgewater, the spring of 2024. And on the grant application, they actually say May 18th and 19th.
Yeah, it says the date.
So they have a date, they have a venue, but they are charging $18 to $24.
No,
no.
Beth, what do you think?
Yes, based on what they're charging, yeah.
I can't hear you, Beth.
Sorry. I'll go along with the no.
Okay.
Okay, no.
And then we're down to our final three. Bernadette Stockwell. That's a weird one. Did you see where she applied?
Melrose, Orange, and Waltham.
So it's a virtual art class.
That's the one.
She
I was
has a
talking
Yeah.
date,
about. Yeah,
but who would do a virtual art class?
Sounds like it's an art, it sounds like it's all about like,
you could do that on YouTube. You don't need to go to,
sounds like she's a psychologist, doesn't it? And it's some kind
yeah,
to enhance creativity, or I don't know, it sounded weird.
I would say no to that.
I mean, it's just weird how we got picked with Melrose, Orange, and Waltham.
I agree. Unless she just
Well,
tried to.
If I can, if I could play devil's advocate here for a moment with this,
Mhm.
you know, the cultural council, because I asked Henneko about this, she says it's just other places that they will be doing this. It doesn't mean that they want money from anyone in particular around there, but she says sometimes they strategically, for instance, if I apply for a grant in Bridgewater and it says at the bottom, where else have you applied? And I said Plymouth, Barnstable, and Waltham. It just goes to show you the other places she's applying to for either the same or different applications.
Well, this is the virtual art class. So she, in
I know.
theory, could have
It
asked
doesn't
for
make
money from
sense.
every town.
the website.
Exactly. She's got a ton of towns. I'd say no to it.
Has a date and a time.
I know,
No,
but she's not from Bridgewater, so that's number one. She's from
Mhm.
Littleton.
Mhm.
I would say no.
I say no.
And then in the they talk about the cost of participation, it's free, and that attendees will receive a free workbook. How was she gonna distribute these workbooks?
Probably online, you'd have to send her an email or something. Who
PDF
knows?
file to download,
Because it's
And
a, it's a,
again, people aren't gonna wanna do that. Okay,
No.
she's a no.
Yep,
No.
no,
All right, the talking information, again, they did not send me a final report last year.
no,
no,
We gave them $500. We haven't heard from them, so
Okay.
no.
yep, no.
no.
Okay, and then the last one, the library doesn't want him, even though he thinks he's gonna perform at the library.
Uh-huh.
He's the comedy one,
Yeah,
so
No.
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 Well, I mean,
Okay.
hey, have a date or a venue, it's all very vague.
Oh, yeah. He's not prepared. Okay, so let's go back through real quickly the denials.
What about the hold? We're not gonna go back to them.
You know what, we're just, okay, we can deny them or we can give them a little bit of money,
So the ones that we said hold, we have to decide whether it's a yes. or no.
correct? All
Well,
right,
let's
so
just, if we can confirm the denials, the ones that were
Yeah, let's
solved,
do
let's
that.
confirm the denials.
then we can
So,
start making a
number
dollar
one.
running total dollar amount for the hold, so we can look at the money, how much money we've got for who we have left, okay?
Are
One
you doing the
is,
running total, Nora?
You want me to keep the running total? You want me to do math? I
I don't
missed
know.
that grant.
Andy, do you mind?
Andy,
no,
do you
I don't
mind?
mind at all.
Right,
Um,
Andy,
Okay,
you're
so
the
this
money
is
guy.
assuming, this
But we
was
got
assuming we would
both,
give them
that's
the
all.
entire amount.
No, but can we do
Yeah.
this? Can we just go through the ones that we denied?
Yep.
Correct, let's just
I'll
do
know
that.
what numbers we're gonna be
Okay, so
dealing with.
number one is a no.
Yep,
Yeah,
Number three is a no.
number 4,
Number four is a no.
yeah. Number 9,
Number nine, number 11,
11, 12,
12, 14,
14,
17,
17,
18,
18,
19,
19, and
20.
20. 22, 24,
22, 24,
yeah,
26, 27, 28, 29, 30,
30,
mhm,
31,
mhm,
33,
Yeah.
36,
yeah,
39,
yeah,
41,
42,
42, 43,
43,
44,
44,
45, 46,
45.
47. We're just wiping out that
48.
page.
yeah, there you go.
49 and 50.
48, 49, and 50.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so all in favor of me going ahead and marking those as no's, denials. It will be, I'll enter it onto Smart Simple.
Mhm,
Yep.
Notifications will go to those grants, those
mhm,
grant people to tell them they were denied.
Right,
Then they get
Correct.
Tell them a reason.
yes, it doesn't meet our criteria.
Okay, oh, okay, so you can give the
Yeah,
same.
that's the reason I'm gonna put down, unless
Yep.
there's something else, but I think that's pretty much all of them.
Right.
So then they get 2 weeks, 14 days.
Yep.
To appeal.
right,
So then we can meet again in 2 weeks and a day,
mhm,
or 3 weeks, whenever you guys want to meet,
mhm.
to look at any of those denials and then divvy up our money. And Andy, we can change the administrative fund at that time. We don't have to do it tonight, right?
No, we can do it anytime, she said.
Okay,
Okay,
all right, so we don't
Before
need
the
to
end of
make a
the year.
decision on that.
But I was recommended, she said to me, you're better off taking the money now and then getting rid of it, rolling it back. Because if you don't get the money when we fill out the form, then you
Right.
can't go and get it again.
right,
Right.
goes bye-bye.
Yeah,
All right, so that goes on to, all right, so all in favor of me making denials on those grants that we just discussed?
I,
Aye,
Okay. All right, so then we are on to new business B, suggestions for events or programs that the LCC wishes to provide.
Before we move on,
yeah,
we had a few that we just said hold.
Right, we're gonna give them at least 250,
Oh, the holds we're getting at least 250?
unless you guys
At
see one that
least.
you don't want to fund at
I know.
all.
Come back and look at them, and I'm fine with that.
yep, I'm good with that too. Okay,
I'm good with that.
So the
Okay.
ones that we put on hold are the talent show.
yep,
I think we should give them some faith money.
Okay,
Yeah,
The social thing.
The movies, the outdoor movies, we put them
Mhm.
on hold. So we're gonna give them at least 250.
Yep.
And then, Six Flags,
yep,
And the Mass Audubon,
and the Mass Audubon.
so that's 1, 2.
You know what? Let me call the Council on Aging. Shoot. We have to make a decision. We have to do it as a group. Let's just deny them.
okay.
The reason I'm
Sounds
saying
good.
this, we have to get together if we
Tina,
want
what
to
number
deny
was
it.
that one?
That was 25.
Number
25?
25.
Okay.
You okay with that, Nora?
fine.
Okay, they can just reapply next year and be more careful on,
So we have 3 that we put a hold on. And so those are yeses now?
It's not a hold, it's, we
Okay.
didn't deny him as we didn't do.
All right, so that means we can't,
so if we don't deny them, we have to give them something.
Yeah, at
So
least.
that's the
250.
Bridgewater, the talent show,
that's the Pride one.
the outdoor movies, and then Six Flags.
No, there was more than,
Mass
Oh.
Audubon was the other one, right?
Right,
Yeah.
and we just
So,
decided
outdoor
not
movies.
to.
Decided not to.
And Six Flags. So Mass Audubon's out, so we still have the 3 left that we weren't sure about doing or what amount we'd come up with.
Okay,
But
let's
we don't
talk
have
about
to
those-
come up with amount right now, so,
No, the question is, Nora, are we gonna give them anything?
Yeah.
Because if we're not, then we need to deny them.
right.
So the talent show. They're asking for 1250. They'll figure it out if we don't give them the full amount.
Okay,
Yes,
yes,
Leave them as a partial
a
funding.
yes, a yes, we'll do
Okay.
something with them.
So
come
the
back
other
to
one
it.
I'm nervous about is the movies, because if we don't
Yeah.
give them that money, they won't do anything.
what number was that?
13.
Okay. Yeah, I thought we said we were gonna do that, because they said they were gonna do fundraising.
yeah, that's what it said. They would have to fundraise if we couldn't pay the full amount. So we
Right.
don't have to pay them the full amount, Tina.
I know,
We
but
can
my
give 'em
fear is we
something.
give them, $500, $1,000, they buy one thing and then they don't do the movies.
Well, I thought I was gonna be calling that guy.
Yes,
I've written down, I've got to call this Al Lasorda.
Okay, well, then find out if,
And I will email all 3 of yous when I find out what
but
Al
we can't
wants to
make
do.
any
Okay.
decisions without it being a open meeting.
No, I know that, but we can make the decision next time if we leave it open.
Right, but we can't deny them.
right,
No, that's right. Yeah.
right.
Okay, so
They're
they're gonna
open
get
for-
some money. We don't know how
Okay.
much.
All right,
then the-
so just, I have a quick question. We have 3 left that we're looking at that are, we use the term hold for them. Who's going to contact that entity and ask them all these questions and find out exactly, things like for the movie? I know Andrew, you're gonna do
I'll do the
that.
movie, yeah.
Okay, so Andrew, you're gonna do that. Who's gonna call the school for the Six Flags?
I don't think we need to call the school.
thing?
They'll be
Okay,
happy to get whatever we give them.
Yeah.
All of them. We'll just give them what we can.
I
okay,
mean, the,
I don't think
the
we need to
boosters,
contact them.
the boosters are gonna come up with the money whether we pay them or not.
okay,
And
All
I
right.
think the talent show will go on, but just in
Yeah.
a smaller. So I
okay.
think the only one that we need to find out is if it's,
It's the movies.
is the
Okay,
movies. If they
Okay.
can't get 15, is it worth giving them 250?
all right, and Andrew, you're gonna take care of the
I will
movies.
call that group as soon as we get off.
Yeah.
As long as it's
Excellent.
before 8 o'clock.
I
have no
know.
problem.
Okay. Alrighty, so our last thing is, Beth, did you have something you wanted to suggest our group do? No, okay. So
I
at this
do.
point, we probably don't need the admin money, but we'll talk about it after we go through
I,
the whole,
can I suggest something?
yes.
Yes,
Tina, I have the sign, by the way,
mhm,
that was left up for, music.
Cat.
I suggest that we have one made for the senior center and
I
have,
already have them made, Andy.
oh, they're already done. Okay, I didn't
Yeah, I
know.
had a whole bunch of them. They're here in my closet.
Oh,
So
Well,
the
send a
senior
couple
center
my
has
way.
one
We
and the
got-
library has one already.
how much were they each to do?
It depended on the size. I had to spend X and then we
200.
decided how to cut it up.
Okay,
Yeah, so those are already done, and the senior center and library both have theirs, and
Okay.
Black Hat has theirs, so if we have another venue that's using a lot of them, I'll drop another one off.
all right. Cause I got the Black Hats given, the end of the season, I took it.
Yeah,
So
no,
we
I have
have it on
a ton of
file.
signs.
Yeah,
Not a ton,
okay.
but I have, yeah. Okay, so we have no suggestions for events or programs that we might wish to provide. You know, we don't have to do that now. We can do it anytime.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Do you want to set a meeting for 3 weeks?
Please.
Well, no, we got one more thing on the agenda, Andy,
Okay.
recruiting members.
Aha.
Kayla is a no-show. Yeah, is that right, Nora?
Yep, she's a no-show, no answer, leaving
Yeah, so
voicemails and nothing.
we have
She's
to have
not.
5 people and she expires this year.
Yeah.
So we need to replace her at a
At
minimum.
least, yeah, at least. So we need like 8 people
Well, Nora, we
to
need
really do
one.
it, right? Yeah, we need 8 though. We have to, that's the thing. If you think about one,
You need at
Then
least
you
5,
struggle.
Nora, isn't it?
Yeah.
You need at least
Right,
5.
we have to have 5
you
Yeah.
need
on the
8.
roster that even if they don't
Yeah.
show up at the meeting, 3 of the
Right.
5 of us have to be at a meeting.
Right, and the
But we
thing
can't
is that
keep having this fake person on the
Yeah,
list.
we need 8 people, because that way you have drop-off, people that can't make it. And the last thing you want to do is be stuck on any event where everybody else gives up.
I
their
totally
time
agree
and
with you,
effort.
Nora, but we don't even
So-
have 5.
So we need to go
let's-
get them, and we need to make the
I recruited Beth. I'm all set.
Yep. and
Yeah.
this and Beth, how many have you recruited this year? Working on it, right?
I've only been here for a few months.
Oh, that's not true.
And you're
It's been
delayed,
more than a few months.
but we need more. So I guess one of the things that I used to use was I used to have a sheet, almost the size of just a little bit bigger, the larger size index cards. And on it just had printed the information briefly about the Cultural Council and what we do and how it only requires a few meetings a year. It's not like a lot of the town stuff. that
Nora,
we
why don't you put
get
that
at.
on Bridgewater residents and Bridgewater 02324?
I will, and we can start there and start seeing about renewing, and then we do need to have some visibility, and I know that, I gave nobody any notice for the 4th of July, which was too short.
And it poured, I was
And
going to
then,
be
yeah,
there.
Yeah, and then the weather
And I was gonna
really,
do Auto Fest too. I was ready. I had my,
and so for that, we need
Nora?
to have other events, so like there's a town election coming up. How about at the senior center, when they have these events, we get a couple of people that would commit to be able to help cover, say, an hour. I'm gonna go to the senior center for the first half an hour before the program and stay in for the first half an hour of the program and just be there to get people information. And so we can get the name out there again. And in the past, having the Bridgewater Cultural Council as the name, rather than referring them back to the Mass Cultural Council, which looks like oh no, this looks like too much to deal with. So that's why we keep getting the same kind of crappy grants. We're getting
Well, the
applications and stuff.
QR code should direct them
Yeah.
to the Bridgewater site.
It does, but it's not enough, because
But I have to
most
say,
people,
the town,
one click,
the
10
town
seconds, and that's it,
manager's
they're gone.
office dropped the ball because they had us listed as not having any openings.
Yeah, that's
So I
crazy.
finally convinced Josh in the spring to
Yeah.
fix that. I said,
Yeah.
we can have up to 22 people. So
Yeah.
now when you go to the volunteer list, we are listed as having openings, but before
Right.
then we did not.
Yeah,
But no one has come out of the woodwork yet.
okay.
I've
So
talked to a few people.
Yep. So I'm gonna go like hog wild crazy on this, if that's should I change that expression? Hog wild crazy is probably not appropriate.
You,
I
you
don't
mean in
care.
trying to recruit people?
Yeah, I'm gonna do what I do, which is I stop people in the supermarkets, on the streets. I
Oh,
go into
God.
guitar, music stores, restaurants.
I mean,
Anywhere
I
go.
feel bad. Beth, was
You know?
the process of applying somewhat intimidating?
It's very intimidating.
You have to have a resume.
Well, I didn't, so you know what? That would have been a deal breaker.
Right, but it looks like you need to have a resume.
Right.
My application without one, and I said, oh, well, if they want me, they'll contact me, and I got contacted almost right
Right.
away.
Yeah, and it doesn't help, it doesn't hurt if when we have someone that we're recruiting to contact the town and say, hey, we got these 3 people coming in, we need them pushed through to, approval process and let's get this
Right,
thing
but
rolling,
I can't even get people to do the application stuff.
Well, you gotta bring it with you.
You know, it's all online.
You
Kind of
know,
a pain in the
online.
neck.
I know, but if you give them a little something, then they're kind of like committed to you. And you gotta, I mean.
I'm sorry,
I-
Beth, what are you trying to say,
Okay.
Beth?
The application was easy. The thing
Yeah.
that was intimidating was having to have 2 separate interviews. Like one,
Mhm.
first with, what was it, the Citizens Advisory Board?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
And with the town manager, I had to have an interview.
yeah.
That was a little, I mean, it was fine, but,
Before it even happens, you're off putting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
In
an ugly
retrospect, it was easy,
process.
but yeah, that's,
It's an ugly process. And that's why I'm a big fan of accompanying the person that you're going to invite. Just, you can't go in there with all these things, but you can bring them to the door. I mean, I would be more than happy to go out and, as I said, go hog crazy wild and see what I can muster up out there. I mean, there's so many, the number of actual professional artists we have in Bridgewater alone, is huge.
right, but the
and
people
they
on the
don't know anything
council
about
can be
us.
like me. I'm as
Yeah.
artistic as nobody.
I know,
You
but
you
these
just have to have
right.
an interest.
I know, but
Yeah.
getting people to volunteer, and I'll be curious to see, I think it's in November, they're having a thing for running for the town elections at the senior center. And I'll be curious how many people actually will go there to even inquire or find out about it. And that says a lot about they're not getting reached, because literally, I walked up to somebody, Kelsey was one of my success stories. She was literally sitting on the curb cleaning out a computer. And I said, hey, what are you doing? And she goes, oh, working on this computer. I said, you want to come join the cultural council? She goes, well, what do you got to do? I spent like 10 minutes, and
Yeah.
that's a short time.
Well, I've
for
been
me.
working on my pickleball people.
Yeah, there you go. Get them all, because
Yeah.
they could have, the pickleball people could actually have a grant applied to them as part of a community event where they could give a demonstration of it, and they could arrange to have the chef over there that was going to do the food thing. He could come and provide food, and we could get, one of the food trucks to come. I mean, it's just calling everybody and inviting them to the party, because the cultural council is one of the best councils to work with. Where
Well, the
else
best
do you
part,
get
Nora,
to
is
give
we don't
money
have-
away?
We don't have any intervention from the town manager. It's
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. And to just make sure that you follow the rules and give money away. It's like, are you kidding? Thank you
Right.
so much,
Right.
So
All
I'll be
right,
down
so
at Roach Brothers next week. Just
Start
ignore me.
shaking trees, trying to
I
get people
will.
interested in doing this.
Okay.
All right, so then additional items for discussion. Andy talked about reimbursement versus direct grants. I believe it was the town manager during COVID
Mhm.
that switched it to direct grants, because it was reimbursement until last year.
Which
I
totally
mean,
was
do you
like
guys,
a
are you
shock.
guys comfortable that
I-
we've made the right
If-
choices for people to get money, that they're going to do what they say they're going to do?
If I may, Tina,
Mhm.
I think we have to vote on this too, but I
Yeah.
think we should set a precedent saying that anybody that says they're playing at the library and the senior center have to have a letter of
Mhm.
We
intent.
have that in our list, remember?
I know, but there were several people that didn't get those letters.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, we have every right to deny anyone who did
Yeah.
not follow our guidelines.
Right.
That's
Right. And
right.
it makes it simple,
Right.
And either
we're-
we choose
we've
to contact them
decided
or,
not to fund anybody
Yeah.
who isn't clear on what their plan is with our money.
And how about not funding anybody that has nothing to do with the town of Bridgewater?
Well,
It's
we've
in our
already made that
guidelines.
decision, but what
Yeah.
I'm saying, the guidelines are the guidelines.
Yeah.
They can read them, and if they get denied, it's their own fault.
And their only alternative is they could then turn around and say, I'll move it to Bridgewater. And that
Yeah,
can
but
be an
then-
alternative. They can say that, oh, all right.
Right, but they
I-
can't, this
know.
grant cycle, they're done.
But they can turn around and they can, if they're denied, they can turn around and say, okay, there used to be, and I'd have to check this in the guidelines now because it's been a few years, but we used to require that they provided like tickets or discounts or something like that to be given away, like at the library or whatever. So for anyone that doesn't say that they can do that, I mean, what the heck is, you can't give up a couple of tickets for your event that you're getting funded. So I have to double check it because I mean, I've been off for a number of years, but it used to be that way. We used to be able to say to them, we love your program. We'd like to see more of it. We'd really like to see it in Bridgewater. And then it's up to them to accept to move it to Bridgewater or not. But that requires doing that long before you get to where we are right now, because
Right.
we just don't have the time. So just for future reference, in the future, there's a lot of ways to get some of these, and perhaps when refusing them, perhaps we could put a little line in the,
There is no way to do that. You just deny them and say it doesn't meet our guidelines.
yeah, but you can put a note in there as well and just say to them that, we would be interested in, discussing a future grant if you were to hold it within Bridgewater, or review our guidelines again to see how you might be able to do this same program here.
Right.
So I mean.
Okay,
there's-
so Andy, you're okay still with sticking with direct grants?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
fine.
the
I mean,
paperwork,
The paperwork
Andrew,
is
is.
done.
But the paperwork's
It's
a
a
nightmare,
nightmare.
forget it.
It's
not
a
worth it.
nightmare. I mean, getting copies, people would send you receipts, and then you would have to make 2 copies of every little receipt they sent you for things
Yeah.
like I bought 2 paintbrushes and tape and
Yeah,
whatever.
no.
you
All
know,
right,
and
so
then
we'll leave it
that
at
went to
direct
the-
grant
to the
unless there's
nightmare.
some
Yeah.
big reason why we would have to in the future. All right,
Yeah.
so do I have someone to move that we adjourn?
We have to pick a date for another meeting.
Yeah.
All right. So what's 3 weeks from today? That gives us time to get a 7 days of denials. So is that the 14th?
Well, isn't it by the date that the letter is going to go out?
I'm gonna submit it tonight.
Okay,
So we gotta give them 2 weeks.
yeah,
Unless
Right.
you guys don't want to meet on Tuesday, meet on another night.
okay.
Do you want
So
to,
today's-
meet on the Wednesday after the second day after they go out?
I have a lecture on Wednesday that I
Okay,
have to attend.
Are you talking about the 8th?
Andy was, I think. How's the
Yeah.
9th?
The what?
the ninth,
Thursday, the 9th.
Oh, I work Thursday night.
Okay,
that's
let's
no-
go to the next week.
Okay,
Let's do the 14th,
is that Tuesday?
Tuesday, yeah.
it's Tuesday.
Okay, Tuesday 14th, okay.
Okay, that's good.
And does everybody like 6 o'clock or do you want to try and meet earlier?
I'm available early if anyone else is.
I'm available earlier.
I am too.
You want to do 4? Does 4 work?
The only reason I hesitate to do that is because if you have public comment,
Oh, yeah, then it's harder for people to get into that.
About 5.
Okay,
5 o'clock?
I mean, technically I have a senior college class at that time, but they do record it, so.
Do 6 if you want. I don't,
Tuesday the 14th at 5 o'clock, is that right?
No, I think we're just gonna keep it at 6.
let's
6,
keep it
okay.
at 6.
Well,
Yeah, it's
With
not even.
people getting home.
We'll all
and-
be in bed soon.
Yeah.
Is that all right with everyone?
Yep,
Yeah,
motion to adjourn?
And if you have people who you think might be interested, encourage them to come on Zoom
I will.
and see what we're all about.
Okay, absolutely. An invite.
All right, so cultural council at 6 o'clock on the 14th. And hopefully it will be quick.
Yep.
We just have to decide how to divvy out the money.
Yep.
All right, so you're gonna check with the movie people, Andy, and no one else has a job, right?
Right. Just the movie people.
Like I'm not contacting anybody about Mass Audubon. We just said, nope,
No,
Ixay,
no.
Ixday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. We're adjourned.
All
Thank
right,
you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, thank you,
Bye-bye.
thank you. Have a lovely night.
everybody
Happy
have a good
Halloween.
You too. Okay,
Bye.
bye-bye.